So why has dating become so hard? And what has really changed and what should we even expect? I'm Renee Slansky for Flirtini, and I am a professional dating and relationship coach, and I can tell you right now, yes, you are correct. Dating is different nowadays. There has been the influence of so many different things, hence why we feel a little lost or we struggle when it comes to meeting someone and building a healthy relationship. You think about it. Nowadays, there are more ways than ever to actually meet somebody, go on a date, and then start something. Yet we are really finding it hard to be able to make that process something seamless. Well, let's talk about what is actually influencing the dating culture and set your mentality right so you can give yourself a chance to actually succeed in love. The first one is this. Social media. Social media has had a massive impact on the dating culture, and that's because we have more ways to be able to connect with somebody on these platforms, but we're not entirely sure is what we see on these platforms is true. People are renowned for being able to create this facade that they hide behind, which we then base assumptions off when we go and do a stalk before we actually go on a date. Not only that, social media platforms have become a way for people to connect and then build something romantic after that connection, which means that we no longer have to rely on being able to meet somebody in real life. We can literally meet somebody on the social media platform and start talking. The only problem with that is that we don't 100% know what it is that we're getting because we're basing that conversation off what that person is choosing to present to us on social media. So there's a whole lot of catfishing going around. There's a whole lot of stalking going around, assumption throwing going around, rather than just focusing on building genuine connections that we would normally do if we met somebody in real life. Not only that, social media has also impacted the dating culture because there are people who are reaching out to exes in their past because now they can access them via Facebook or Instagram. There are also people who are hiding their profiles from the people that they're dating because they don't really want to be transparent that they're dating other people at the same time as them. So let's be honest, while social media does give us some good benefits for being able to bring connection, it is literally going to affect the way that we start to date people as well. The second impact is this. We live in a culture where divorce is less than 50%, but it's right up there. It's about 47%, which means almost 1 in 2 marriages end up in divorce. So we have a lot of single parents who are out there dating. We also have a generation who has come from divorced parents, meaning that it impacts their ideal of what it is going to take to build a quality relationship. We can't just sit back and pretend that divorce doesn't affect how we build relationships, because it does. Whether you come from a family of divorced parents or whether you have gone through a separation yourself, people are throwing away something that isn't working rather than learning how to be able to fix it and make it work. Whilst you shouldn't stay in toxic relationships or sweep everything under the rugs like previous generations have done, we still need to make sure that we aren't falling into this idea that because we can just go on dates whenever we want, that we shouldn't work on the relationship that we're currently in. Number 3, long distance. Long distance has had a massive effect on the dating culture, and that's because, once again, we can actually connect with somebody online. Now, whether they're in a different state, a different city, a different country, we are building attachments with people in places that are far from us, and then we're learning to be able to navigate long distance relationships. And as somebody who was in a long distance relationship with my husband, that is a really hard relationship to do. It requires a whole lot of effort. And so if we're seeing hard work and effort equaling love and relationships, it's no wonder why we start to wonder, okay, is love meant to be this hard? Number 4, communication has changed. Okay, we obviously have a lot of ways to communicate with people nowadays. Video, texting, phone calls, messaging, you name it. I don't even know if people still write letters. Either way, Communication has given us a whole lot of avenues. However, people are getting lazy with their communication. They are using texts instead of calls. They are ghosting to be able to get out of confrontation because they just can. It's almost like there is a lack of accountability now that we have an oversaturation of communication. We have gone from quality communication into quantity communication, meaning we've got all these different ways to communicate, but we're not really focusing on what we're saying and how we're saying and the impact that it is actually having. One of the big struggles that a lot of people have out there is that they're finding that they're going on a couple of dates, but there's a whole lot lost in communication because one person isn't texting back something or they're receiving it the wrong way. Number 5, we are having what is called micro relationships or micro commitments. And that is if you're dating and you're wanting to date this person for a little bit, but then you're also chatting to this person over here, and then you're also thinking about this person over there, and you've got little micro commitments everywhere to give yourself a sense of security without missing out on the possibility of having someone else. Now, the problem with that is that you're actually feeding the fear of missing out, and you're never going to know the full potential of who it is that you're dating if you're constantly committing to different people or different opportunities at the same time. And lastly, we're having what is called situationships. And situationships is where you find yourself dating someone, yet you can't really classify it as a relationship. Or it is a relationship, but it's a really unhealthy relationship and there is no peace and progress. Now, this is because there is a lack of love education, lack of clarity, and lack of, let's say, accountability as well. Situationships are leaving this generation feeling completely confused by dating and love because the effort that they're putting in isn't equaling results and the commitment that they want isn't progressing into something that they had in their head as what was going to be much more fulfilling than what they're currently experiencing. So tell us in the comments below, which of these situations do you believe has really influenced your struggle in being able to find love? Is it long distance? Is it social media? Is it micro commitments? Is it those situationships? Is it divorce? Let us know down below. And just remember that because you're currently struggling, it doesn't mean that you have to continue to struggle. Don't forget to download our app Flirtini to check it out so that you can build healthy connections. And I'm Renee Slansky. I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and bye for now.